Do you fish? No. You know, people who don't fish think that fishing is lazy or boring, but it is the complete opposite. There are 100 little decisions to be made, variables to be considered, and you're never quite sure what made the difference. Did I cast too high, too far to the left? Did I reel it in too slow or too fast? Is the lure too shiny or too dull? Do I stay here or should I go over there? And you know it's not luck, but you do not know by how much. Because I am never disappointed out here, because I don't expect anything, because anything is possible. I can be hopeful out here, even in failure. Because I know if I just go out there around that tree, it might be different. Something might be different. Something I do might make a difference.
Hey everyone, quick little announcement here from Fishing the DMV. Our Weekend Warrior Club membership on Patreon is nearly full. There are now only 15. Again, 15. You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your host, Thomas Ahrens. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by Jake's Bait and Tackle, located in Winchester, Virginia.
If that doesn't get you jacked up, I don't know what will.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing on this Friday morning? I like this. I kind of like doing these morning shows. I feel very chipper. I just took my Adderall. I have some caffeine with me too. Sorry about last night. Was worked a little late with the job that I still have, and was trying to figure out getting my truck back. So my truck is probably not going to pass inspection, but it gives me like a 30-day prev if I get that figured out. So at least I'll have a vehicle for the month of May. Fingers crossed. It has no heating, AC, a couple of other issues, but it's got brakes, and that's all that counts, right? That's all we need, honestly. Could people drop a comment in the comment section? Let me know if you can hear me. So just do that real quick. I really appreciate it. How's everybody doing this morning? How's my audio? How's my volume before we get started here? I have some fun things to go over. Let's see. We got Finn Cook says sounds good. Caitlin says good morning. Good morning. We got Finn says sounds good. All right. Awesome. Sweet. All right. So this will be really, really quick. Loud and clear. Derek Smith. Okay, awesome. And then if you missed the live stream, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to be proactive and getting ahead of everything with this. So without further ado, we'll get into the rules. And if anything you want to talk about, just feel free to drop a message. I do know, and I'll say this real quick. The waiver form, if you've already signed a waiver form from the last couple of tournaments, you're perfectly fine. No issues there. I think the waiver form I have now still has like a March date on it. I was trying to, apologies, I guess, and I'll fix up the waiver form. I'll just say that. Let's see, entire window. Yeah, let's go with the entire window. Okay, so here we go. Without further ado, boom. All right, so here it is, the Spring Bass Bash, and this time we have a sponsor. I wanted to start dabbling with the whole sponsorship thing, because if you guys know, technically, since we are one of the top 100 outdoor shows listened to in the nation of the United States of America, I decided maybe I should start trying to look for sponsors. And I wanted my cherry broken very gently. So I went Brian with the Bass Cast. Great program. He has a great website and everything. I thought it was a good way to just kind of get my feet wet with understanding how sponsorships work and everything. So he's going to be presenting. He's the presenting sponsor for the Spring Bass Bash. So huge shout out to Brian for coming on board and helping out with this for all the trophies. If you guys didn't know that I'm giving away a lot. This is the most money I've ever spent on a fishing tournament. This is gonna have the most plaques. This is hopefully gonna be a lot of fun for everyone. So with the Spring Bass Bash, I'll get right into the nitty gritty. What people care about is the prizes and payouts. So for overall first place, and I'll make it a little bit bigger for everybody. Overall, we're gonna have 2 divisions like we did last time. People really seem to like it. We have a overall mixed bag largemouth division. Okay. And we have a pure smallmouth division. And then that's all in the same tournament. And then I can spreadsheet it and just to separate it all out. And the reason I do that is some people, they start out catching a smallmouth limit and then ended up catching a couple of nice largemouth. And if we did just 2 distinct tournaments, that would kind of disqualify those people. So this way, you know, if you end up catching all smallmouth, you're automatically in the smallmouth division. If you end up catching one like 22-inch largemouth that you want to keep in your limit, that puts you into the mixed bag division. That's kind of how that works. For prizes, first place this time, we're giving away $500. I'm guaranteeing $500 to the first place person for each division. Okay, everyone gets a plaque from first all the way down to 5th place this time. There's a lot of plaques I'm giving out. We're bumping up second place to $200 for both divisions, $150 for third place. And then we got, this is a very good question. Can you compete in both divisions if you catch both a limit of smallmouth and largemouth? Let me ask Tourney X that. That's a damn good question. In theory, I don't know, so we're doing an 8 fish limit, Finn. So in theory, if your biggest 8 fish are smallmouth, then you're automatically in there. If you catch one that's interesting. Let me ask Tourney X if they let you do that. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out with Tourney X. I need to talk out to Mike Ortega or Jake Harshman, since they've been doing this a lot longer, for helping me figure this stuff out. I've been using a spreadsheet and just separating divisions that way. In theory, if by some meaning you caught all smallmouth, if you caught 16 fish, 8 of them largemouth, 8 of them smallmouth, if they were the biggest ones, I would have to let you win somehow. I would have to figure that out. And that gets into some of the changes that we're doing for this tournament as well. I did not answer your question, Finn, but that's a damn good question that I just screenshotted because I would like to figure out how to get an answer to that question. So we're going all the way through 5th place for the smallmouth mixed bag division, largemouth mixed bag division. We're going all the way down to 5th place with plaques this time. I was trying to figure out if I could pay down a little bit more spots, but financially I can't do it since I'm using my tax return money I'm hopefully getting from the government this year to help pay for this bad boy. As you guys know, because these are Patreon club member tournaments, I can guarantee the payouts. So whether we get 2 people that sign up or we hit our quota of 40, I will be able to guarantee these payouts no matter what. I bankroll it. And then thanks to Brian coming on to help out with the trophy stuff, it makes it a lot easier. We could have more trophies and things like that. Big Fish Awards. Like last tournament, we are going to do for the smallmouth division. And I changed the wording because there's some lawyers that said, like, this is better. The largest smallmouth caught in Pennsylvania waters, the largest smallmouth caught in Maryland waters, the largest smallmouth caught in Virginia waters. So it's where the fish is caught, not where you're from. So I'm going to pick on Finn. If Finn catches a 25-inch smallmouth, let's just say, because the caffeine hasn't hit, 25-inch smallmouth out of the New River, okay, that qualifies for the biggest smallmouth there. And then if he goes on a vacation to the Susquehanna, and then he catches a 7-pound smallmouth out of the Susquehanna, that would also qualify him for the Pennsylvania big fish. So that's kind of how it works. So it's the water that's caught in. That's one of the reasons I need you to keep your the location up on your phone. It doesn't waypoint your spot, but it tells me kind of what state you're in and what body of water you're near. So I'd be like, okay, that's the way it qualifies. So that's the same. If we can get 60 people to sign up, for this tournament, I'm going to add 3 more Big Fish Awards for the smallmouth. So we'll have the second largest one for Pennsylvania, the second largest for Maryland, the second largest for Virginia as well. So if we get 60 people to sign up for this tournament, I will increase that. All right. This is where we're going to get some feistiness here. A difference in the rules from last time. If you guys are listening to if you're listening to Apple or Spotify on the re-upload, I've always given away 2 to 3 largemouth Big Fish Awards for these things. Hunter ended up catching a cartoonishly sized fish limit of like 10,000 inches, and every fish looked like it came from a Bass Pro Shop aquarium. He had the best day of his life. And so this was gotten me to some thinking, like, if I have multiple Big Fish Awards like this, in theory, the person that wins the tournament could also have every single big fish. And because these tournaments were never designed personally as a Hobie BOS or Bassmaster, where it's just about winning and making the most money, I wanted to spread the wealth around. It's kind of how I wanted to do these tournaments until I actually get some bigger sponsors, if anyone would like to sponsor a tournament, to come on. So this is what we're going to do now. Largemouth Big Fish Award eligibility rules. To ensure more anglers have a chance to win, an individual angler may only win one Largemouth Big Fish Award. If the same angler qualifies for more than one award, only their single largest qualifying catch will be counted. The remaining awards will be then passed down to the next angler with the next largest qualifying fish. So what this does is it allows that we will have 3 distinct winners of plaques, 3 distinct winners of $100 each for the fish. So I know it's going to probably make a few people angry, but then I also increased the amount of money the winner gets. Really good question here by Tom. Does the Potomac count as a Maryland water since it belongs to Maryland? Yes. So we're just gonna call it Maryland. Boom. Making that easy. We're gonna count the whole Potomac as Maryland because Maryland owns the rights to that. Makes it really, really, really easy. And this is the same thing for the smallmouth side of things because you have Virginia access. It is owned by Maryland, technically. So because the same question came up of if you're fishing the Potomac River up in West Virginia, what does that count as? We're gonna call it Maryland. Do I want to add a West Virginia division? Do I want to add a North Carolina division? An Ohio division? Because apparently I have a lot of Patreon supporters from Ohio. Yes, I would love to, but we need a few more. I can't create a division if we have 3 people. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, if you have some businesses that would like to sponsor one of these tournaments to throw some more money in, be my guest. We got BCal that says, so I can't win multiple times again. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm probably going to do. And then where is it? And then here we go. Qualifying. I'll make sure wrong place for this. Sorry, I feel like Joe Biden this morning. I'm stuttering. The caffeine is not completely hit yet. I do put an asterisk in the rules that if it's something cartoonish, like it's clearly the guy that won, every fish he has is 25 inches and the next person up is like 6. Yeah, I'll make some kind of contingency prize or something like that for some people. I will. I'll keep in the back. That's what's so nice about having some of these things a little bit lower is I can always pitch in a little bit more if needed. So hopefully that answered the question. I don't know. So that's kind of the awards. Quick rundown. Then again, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, first place for both the smallmouth division and the largemouth mixed bag division is over $500. So it's the Plaque, giving away trophies from first all the way down to 5th place. Second place gets $200. Third place gets $150. Big Fish Award, largest smallmouth in Pennsylvania waters, $100 plus a plaque. Largest smallmouth in Maryland waters, $100 plus a plaque. Largest smallmouth in Virginia waters, $100 plus a plaque. The Potomac River is kind of just 100% as a Maryland river. Makes life completely easy for me since they actually own the water. Largemouth award wise, it's the biggest fish in your bag. That way we can get more winners involved. And to help with that, I just increase the amount that the winner makes. So that way he doesn't get really wronged too badly. Okay, let's see. Now, side quest, baby. This is something I just enjoy. I enjoy side pots. I enjoy the idea that somebody gets really hyped to catch a bluegill because he gets $100 in a plaque. And a lot of people from the Halloween tournament we did said it's really cool, the side pots. And so I'm bringing them back. We're doing $100 plus a plaque for the largest snakehead caught. We're doing $100 plus a plaque for the biggest sunfish bluegill. It counts to the same button you click. And then we're doing a $100 in a plaque for the largest rock bass. Goggle eye is also what it's called. And we're doing $100 plus a plaque for the largest crappie, and that's black or white crappie. So and we want to do catfish. We'll do catfish next time possibly, and we'll do some other species next time as well. I really do like these side pot things that you could do. So there is so many freaking ways that you can win some money with one of these competitions. It's going to be a lot of fun. For the new people here, what you got to do if you would like to join the tournament, you have to be a club member, a Patreon club member, and we only have 6. Yep, we have 6 ones left. That's it. 6 spots left before I shut it down. As you guys know, Apple and a couple other people are raising their fee like by 30%. They're going to start taking. So I will open the club to new members after those 6. I'll be opening the club to new members in 2026, but it'll be at a new rate. So if you want to lock in your rates now, there's 6 positions left. And if you pay the whole year, just like you would a normal club do, I give you guys like 10 to 15% off for if you just buy the whole year. Let's see. For measuring snakeheads, can you hold them on the measuring board with a booga like VKAE rules? Yes. And so what I'm going to do is and I was just talking to some snakehead guy about this earlier, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I put that in the rules and I'll post all over the place. Yes, you can use that as well. Because again, Finn dropping the good questions here. Let's see. Chain pickerel. I'm going to add chain pickerel to it. So I want to add all the different species. And this is something else I really want to do. I really want to take the master program. And I'm going to be real with you here. I know we're going to side off the tournament here. I love the master angler program that Virginia does, but I think it's kind of shit. The prizes they give out. It's kind of crap. Let's be real. And I know this company. I got some artists that help me out. We can make some bitchin' plaques and insignia rings for doing fishing challenges. Here is my plan. Probably this summer. I don't want to overpromise, but definitely for next year is when we can get some. And if people are listening and know a business that want to come on board, please. We're going to do a master angler program based on bodies of water. I thought that would be cool. So example is if you can catch a triple crown out of the Shenandoah, which would probably be like a muskie, a smallmouth, and a walleye. And then we make a plaque to say like you are a master angler for the body of water. I wanted to kind of do challenges like that. And then I wanted to do our own master angler program where if you hit these certain species, we get you a bitchin' plaque that says, you know, with your name says, I'm a master angler for the year 2026, something like that. And so I want to try to figure out how many fish should that be, because some of these master angler programs are insane, where it's like you have to catch 37 species. I don't know, I'm exaggerating, that are all citation. It's like, well, that can't, I mean, it could be done in a year, but that's pushing it. So I want to try to figure out like a program where it's like, it's a good challenge that you have to compete for, but you have a time limit. You have to compete it all in like a year. That would be kind of cool. So that is my big scope eventual plan. And whether I have to get my nonprofit off the ground and have that funded or I get a sponsor, that's here the point. So my plan is we're going to do a beta test, and it'll probably be like kind of the summer tournament where we'll say from July to September, you have to catch so many species out of certain places that are eligible to become a master angler for that. And it's just going to be a beta test to see how I like it, to see how people like it. So one of the votes that I'm going to put on the channel is, what bodies of water did you want to have up for this competition in the summer? So the Shenandoah River, the Susquehanna probably. I'm thinking the Upper Potomac, possibly Lake Anna. Maybe I want 5 bodies of water that are unique to the area, and you got to catch a citation of like 3 to 4 species out of that body of water. So, and again, I'll go back to Shenandoah. That would be like if you could catch a muskie, if you could catch a walleye, a smallmouth, that would be there. Lake Anna, largemouth, striper, what, sawguy? Would you go sawguy? I want 3 species from each one that have to be a record or more. Deep Creek, yeah, we could do Deep Creek. Caitlin, that'd be cool. Deep Creek would be cool. Yeah, and so basically, we'll put up to a vote once we figure out the bodies of water and vote in the. You can vote here in the comment section. You can also vote up on my Patreon page. Let's have 5 bodies of water, and let's have a challenge for each one that you have to, from July to September, you have to catch a citation of all those species. Something like that. And again, we got Paul Bladders. That'd be cool. So you got to catch a largemouth, a striper, crappie frana. That's a good one. I like that. Should we also add a sawguy? Maybe a tidal rappahannock. You have to catch a largemouth, a snakehead yellow. That's a good one, Finn. I like that. See, this would be fun. And then we'll do a challenge base. So you have to catch it within the time limit to win the prize. And then I'll get you a cool ass plaque that'll say that, yeah, you're a master angler for this body of water. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We could probably do that on Tourney X, because then you just have the bump board. You take it, we'll know it's a citation. And then what we'll do is after the fact, once everyone has won who has won the challenge, I'll get the plaques made, but I'll make it with your name on there too. I thought that'd be kind of cool, just to incentivize the Master Angler program a little bit more. I love the department, love some people that work there, but just getting a stupid printout of a piece of paper saying like you did it, congratulations. It's like, come on, it's a plaque isn't that bad. If I can afford it, they can. So yeah, the title, I like that, and Paul, I like that too. That's a really really cool idea. The Chesapeake large. Yeah, but the perch thing, Paul, you told me, I think it was Monday night, like there's yellow perch that really run up there. So catching a citation yellow perch would be kind of hard to, but you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could even do 6 species. Yeah, you could do 5 species. You could do a largemouth, a smallmouth, a striper, a snakehead, and then a yellow perch. That's 5 for sight. Now we should probably keep it to 3 or 4. I don't know. How many do you guys want it to be? Do you guys want it to be 5 species, 3 species? Let's all settle on if we can catch largemouth, striper, crappie. I think saugeye, that's 4. Only run them a couple months out of the year. Ooh, good point. And then Bruce, we could do the pickerel probably in the winter or fall too, or some kind of challenge like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, let me know. And then Finn, I was thinking for anyway, let's do 3 to 4 species, 3 to 4 species citation. We'll figure that out. I'm gonna make a note of this right now, because I will forget, and I apologize for that. Let's go Rappahannock River, Lake Anna, Shenandoah, Chesapeake Bay, Upper Bay, and then Potomac River, of course. No. I want to do the official stuff. I'm going to go, yep. So Aaron Ball asks, are you planning on making your own size for citations, or are you going off of what Virginia does for their master angler? I'm going off what they do, but I'm going to do it better, because I'm going to hype the shit out of everyone that competes in this, and you're going to get a big-ass plaque. So I'm thinking plaque sizes for the master angler program. It'd be something like this, size-wise. Here's a calculator. Yeah, I'm a nerd, just for size reference. You're going to get a big-ass plaque, but the difference is, here's the difference. The Master Angler program really doesn't have as much of a time limit. This will have a time limit. So we're doing 3 species, I'm thinking, because for this first beta test of it. 3 species for bodies of water. So if Aaron's competing on Lake Anna, I think we said striper, largemouth, crappie. That's 3, and you got to catch a state citation. And then we're just gonna, it's a challenge, because now what you have to do is compete. And say some bodies of water aren't going to have citations, like only places you can really catch citation striped bass. You are never going to catch a citation one of Lake Anna. What if we did a swiper? Boom. Because I know you can catch a citation-sized smallmouth, I mean, a largemouth out of there, a crappie, you can catch one. And maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll stay state or lake record or lake citation, something like that. I think that could be an idea. And Aaron, what I'll do is I'll get with you and, what about saugeye? We could do striper, well, we could do crappie and largemouth for Lake Anna. So we just got to need a bluegill? I don't know. Figure out one more species you got to catch out of there that would be considered trophy size, or we just do lake trophy. And I'll get with you and Finn about that too, since this is going to be a July beta test. Again, the challenging thing here with this version is a carp. Catching Paul's like, just catch a carp out of there. Or maybe a white perch. Happy to chat with you. Yeah, because this beta test is here, a challenge with a time frame of, let's say, July to September. And again, I'll go back to the Shenandoah River. You got to catch a citation size rock bass, smallmouth, and then we'll fill in the blank with a 3rd species. We could even do sunfish, honestly. Sunfish, rock bass, smallmouth. You got to catch a citation size one out of there in those 2 months. Go. If that works and people like the hype or something like that, then what I'd want to do is to get some money, and we'll do a year challenge, which is from, January to January, you have to catch so many state records, blah, blah, blah. I actually caught a white perch from Lake Anna back when I was like 10 years old. Well, then there you go. And for this shorter time horizon one, what we could potentially do, if you want, is we could just say, we could come up with our own numbers like Aaron said, because it's more of like, when you would go to the Florida and catch like a Grand Slam. So that would be like a backwater Grand Slam is a snook, a redfish, a shark, or a flat, which would be a permit bonefish tarpon. You have to catch all 3 in a day. Try to vibe with that. Yeah. And honestly, I would count the hot side too. That'd be perfectly fine. Anyway, it's a neat little idea I wanted to do. I wanted to beta test doing a citation type program, or catching a Grand Slam out of certain bodies of water, but you have a time limit. Let's beta test this. Let's adjust it. I think it'd be cool because I want to give out plaques and really hype up people that do that. I've had a couple of episodes I haven't dropped yet where we talk about trying to go catch a giant trophy size fish out of each species. And it's a lot harder. Like, and I get my bass guys, and I'm not against that, but it's just cool when you say like, yeah, I want to go out and catch a trophy size walleye. That's not easy. And I think some bass anglers are like, oh, well, if it's not a bass, it's like, whatever. It's like, no, that's still hard. Go out there, try to find a state size walleye or a yellow perch, or when you're hunting the biggest of any species. And I think that's pretty cool. I would love for muskie to be on the Slam Shenandoah, but yep. I think what we're going to try to do with that, Finn, is we'll just make that if everyone likes this 2-month thing and it works, when I do a year one, that's when we'll add the muskie to it. Probably that would make the most sense. Plus, just to go out there and catch, if we added muskie, it'd probably just be a catch a damn muskie would probably be part of it. Yeah. Let me talk to Aaron. I got to find Aaron's number. Aaron has my number. So Aaron, you can just text me. And we'll figure it out. But yeah, I think let's do a short one first. Let's adjust the rules. If that works, then we'll do a year one. And maybe I can talk to the department, and the department will get on board with this, because I think that'd be cool. We're going to follow, I'm going to try to the best of my ability, follow the rules set forth by the department. So with that, I believe you are allowed to use, Aaron, help me out. You are allowed to use live bait for like records and stuff, because if you're going after like striper or swiper or things like that, I'm assuming Aaron will let me know. But again, I literally this is just beta testing it in my brain noodle. Yeah, Aaron said you can use live bait. If you can catch a carp on artificial in the mouth, I will give you a plaque just for that. That's pretty impressive. So anyway, with that said, let's get back to it. So that's something to stay tuned in, guys. So if you are a Patreon member, a club member, that's something that we're going to be gearing up to do as well. If you guys want plaques, we'll do plaques. If you want to do rings, we can do rings. Back to the tournament. Start date for the Spring Bass Bash. The start date is going to be April 26th at 6 a.m. The code will be available for you guys once you sign up at like 4 in the morning, something like that. If the code does not work or whatever, just message me and I'll send it. It's no big deal. Award ceremony. Award ceremony is, of course, optional. If you win a bunch of stuff or money or whatever, hey, guess what? No big deal. If you can't make it, I will send you all the stuff. I have all the plaques from the last event right here in a box organized. I'm going to be going to the FedEx store today to drop all of them off as well. Tournament fees, the same old, $45. I feel like that's a very competitive price. PayPal takes $2.03 off each transaction. And then Tourney X, I think, is like $7 a person. So that's kind of all built into it just to make sure that this is cheap for you guys, but I actually don't go homeless either. So those are the rules right there. We'll probably go to Jake's Bait and Tackle or a brewery. If you guys know of a brewery, that'd be kind of fun that we can kind of rent out. I would love to do a brewery meetup this summer. You must be a Patreon club member, a weekend warrior. That's no different than just paying your dues to Bass. You get 5 tournaments plus awards and just so much crap for joining. Plus, if it's not for my Patreon members, I literally can't do this. As you guys know, YouTube does not pay out a lot and sponsors don't exist. So quite literally, none of this would be possible without you guys supporting me on Patreon. It absolutely is vital for this to keep growing as it is. Since the tournament is going from April 26th to June 15th, because that's Father's Day at midnight, since it's over a month long, I fretted about this. We're going to keep it at 8 fish. Especially now that the weather is getting a lot warmer, fishing is going to be a lot easier. It's your biggest 8 fish, largemouth, spots, or smallmouth. If you end up catching a spotted bass, do not worry about it. We're going to count that as a largemouth too, just to make it easier so you don't have so many buttons to press on the back end. Measuring board. Any measuring board with visible markings is allowed. This is not a bass sanctioned event. This is not MVK. This is not MVKBA, Mid-Atlantic. You know, we're not playing for $1 billion here. So as long as you got a good board, and I tried to buy a board for one guy. As long as it's not 3 measuring sticks taped together, I just need to be able to see the thing. So it's vitally, vitally important. So any board like that, make sure the mouth is closed to the best of your ability. We're going to get into how you check out fish right here. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. So this is the best picture I actually found online to kind of describe all this. So if people don't know, this is what a kayak bump board is like. What you want to do is place the fish with his mouth firmly closed here. Now, I am not a Nazi for the mouth. I'm not, I never will be. If it has a crease because it looks like his mouth is fucked up, sorry, I know I cussed this early, my apologies. I'm going to probably count it without an issue. Again, I don't want you to hurt the fish either, trying to shut the mouth and slam it shut either, if that makes sense. So if it's mildly open, I'm not going to be docking you. That's just, I'm not evil. Now, I've had people where the mouth is completely wide open. Like, okay, dude, like, come on, that you're going to get docked. How much do you get docked? You just get dropped down to the next one. So if you enter this stuff online, if it's 17.5, it's 17.75, it's 7.25, it's 7 dot. That's how it does. It's in quarter increments. That's what you usually do for measuring fish. So if the fish was a 17.75 and the mouth is wide open, I'm going to drop that down to a 17.5. Your hand, you want to have the hand clearly visible in the middle of the fish. If it's over the head, I'm not in regular rules, you have to have the eye covered. I get it. If it's not perfect, I'm not going to dock you. Again, I'm not going to be a Nazi for those things. This is not a sanctioned Bassmaster event or anything like that. So, but good practice is to kind of keep it right here in the middle. Cliff will do this sometimes. Make sure you have about 2 or 3 inches on the back end so I can see past, so I can make sure that it is 23 inches. I can tell that some of you guys have never operated a camera phone before. And if you need some lessons on how to take a picture, Paul or Ty can help you out with that. ID is right here. You're going to put the code that I sent you that will be sent on the Tourney X app. If you guys cannot find the code after entering the tournament, I can send it to you. Do not worry about that. But you're going to write that down there on one of these IDs. If you don't have an ID, you can write it on a piece of paper. I saw somebody write it on a plastic plate, their hand. I don't care, as long as I can see the code. Now, I did have an issue where somebody actually used the passcode to sign up for the event. They used that instead of the ID. People wanted to ask me, okay, well, so those fish don't count. So this is what happens. I let the person know, like, hey, that's the wrong one. Use this one going forward. Because technically, because there is a password that you need to even get into the event to sign up for it, and you have to be a private member to begin with, the ID is a double negative. But I just want everyone to get in the habit of that, because if you ever use a adult big boy kayak tournament, you do need that right identifier. So please use the right identifier. If you ended up using the passcode for some reason, I'll allow that. It's if there's absolutely nothing, if there's no ID, no passcode, no nothing, that's where we're going to have a chat. So, all methods, all fish must be caught using artificial baits with terminal tackle. No kidding. You are allowed to fish from the bank, a boat, kayak, canoe, raft, all approved methods, an inflatable mattress. I don't care. Doesn't matter where you fish from. Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker is going to be the largest fish by length. Then we're going to go second largest fish by length. Most fish submitted. And then the final tiebreaker is going to be a coin flip. That's just kind of how that all works there. All these rules are available on Patreon and also our private Facebook group as well. Then the other thing is going to be, let me get this question answered right here. Tips for measuring: have the bump lower than the open end. Doesn't need to be super low. Yes, if you have the plate piece there, the angled piece angled, so his face slides down into the board, he will keep his mouth shut, generally speaking, which is really nice. You guys don't have to be perfect on the measuring. You don't. Just make sure the picture's wide enough, a bigger angle, because I can zoom in here on my computer and check it out. And so if you entered it wrong, don't worry. I try to go through and check every fish, and I can make adjustments to how long the fish actually is. We are going to be doing on Monday Night Lives, once the tournament really gets going, we're going to do recaps, and I'm going to try to do more promotions of the people that have caught big fish. We're going to do small mini prize giveaways. I think Jake's wants to do that, where we'll give away prizes to people that caught the biggest fish that week, things like that. We're going to do random winners, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's something else. Oh, okay. So biggest thing with the fishing, public waters. It has to be a public piece of water. You cannot fish a private pond in your backyard. That's cheating. Same thing with snakeheads, because I know there's a lot of sneaky places people can catch snakeheads. It's got to be public water. Anyone can fish it. It's not fair if somebody's just fishing a Bass Pro Shop aquarium. And I know I've gotten stuff before by a couple of members. They are fishing public waters. And I know that because the app allows me to see where they're fishing. That's why it's so important for me to know where you're fishing. I can defend you. If you catch some absurdly big fish, I can tell him, like, hey, listen, this is clean. He's fishing a public place. No issues there. The other thing is, this has been brought up a couple of times, especially for my winter tournaments, and I'm just going to keep it going here. Participants are encouraged to fish together for safety. Like in the wintertime tournaments, like the holiday tournament and the Frostbite Frenzy, I don't want you going out there alone in the cold. That is really, really stupid. It's okay if you guys fish competitively together in the same boat, kayaks, whatever. It's for safety. I'd rather have you guys together than alone. So please take advantage of that. I don't want to know where I don't want you to know where I'm fishing. Well, yeah, but I need to kind of know where you're fishing. That way I can defend you in a court of law. What's kind of nice about it, though, is it doesn't give you GPS coordinates. It just kind of shows you like a blip on a shitty map. So if you scroll out, you could be like, okay, that's the Susquehanna River. Cool. I know that fish counts for Pennsylvania. And it's a safety thing, too, which is nice, because if Bruce takes a dip in the water and he doesn't return and the cops call me, I can be like, this is his last known location. So that's also kind of a nice thing, too, is we can kind of like at least tell your next of kin where you drowned, which is that's a depressing thought on a Friday morning. But anyway, so that's all the rules. Does anyone have any questions for me? I know this was a little bit of an abbreviated stream to try to get going here. Again, if you're a Patreon member on the Patreon app, you probably already got an email with the updated code for all of your discounts, Jake's Bait and Tackle, to Tiger Crankbait, to Catoctin Creek Rods. And you also got the passcode and the link to be able to sign up for the tournament. I also put that on Facebook as well. You can check it there. You can go in there and sign up. If you're not a Patreon member yet, again, I strongly advise you to go over there and sign up. You can go sign up for the year. You get a massive savings. You get 10% off the whole year. It's like $65. All it is to become a member for a year. That's it, $65, and it quite literally keeps this channel going. You know, this is 40 hours a week that I put into this thing, and $65 just to be able to sign up. You get so many perks, a lot of discounts like Jake's Bait and Tackle, all that stuff, free content, plus 5 tournaments that are pretty good payout, especially since I'm backing them out of my own bank account. So you're guaranteed money. And again, $6 a month, or $65 for the year. 6 positions left, and once they're gone, I'm shutting it down until 2026, when the prices are going to go up. So the Turning X app will let you submit more than 8 fish for the side pot. Yeah, so basically how it works is at the app will auto call. So let's say you catch a 12-inch bluegill. Well, that won't be counted as your last 8 big fish. However, it's still submitted into the app, and I can see all the bluegill caught. And then what I do is I create an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll say, like, Derek just caught a 12-inch bluegill. And so even though that probably won't count as your best 8 fish, it will still count as the side pot. Hopefully that makes sense. So I basically can allow which species to be submitted. And so you take a picture of that species, click it's a bluegill, and then submit it. Does that make sense, Derek? So you're right. Yeah, it won't probably, if you have a good month on the water, it won't count towards your best 8 largemouth or smallmouth, but it still will be submitted in the app. I can see that and I can make a note of how big they are. Really good question. Really good question. Make sure you get a bump board. That's super, super important. You have a good quality bump board. Make sure the picture is far enough away from the board that I can see almost everything about it, and make sure the mouth is completely closed. If you guys have any questions, just message me. You can message me, fishingthedmv@gmail.com. You can also message me on Instagram or Facebook. Facebook can be a little wonky sometimes, just FYI. Sorry about that, but I do my best to try to get back to you guys as fast as humanly possible on that. I think I had one more thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, and then this tournament starts. Oh, yeah. So registration is going to end like mid-May. So if you don't get onto it right now, do not worry. The registration won't end for a while. So don't feel bad about that. And so right there, if you guys are not a Patreon member, I just dropped the link in the chat. You can go check it out there. Go sign up for the year. And yeah, we have Monday Night Live this Monday. Do not have a guest yet. I'm bad with that right now, I know. But I might just do a call-in show again. So I don't know. I also am going to try to get the bass and beer guys. I want the whole crew again. And so I'm trying to figure out a time that we can do to get the whole crew out. Talk about the Upper Bay, how things are going. So that'll probably be in May, I'm assuming, as I haven't talked to them quite yet about it. Go check out Bass and Beer Radio tonight. They have a show at 7 p.m. Up over on Facebook and YouTube. And I might be talking about just what's going on with the DWR, some things like that. So it might be a nice little call-in show because I do like doing this. That might be Monday night's show right now. But Ricky, I got to get your boys on for what they did. Ricky is a coach, a fishing coach, and his high school boys just qualified for a national championship again. So we're going to have to get them on the show to talk about that. May is good. We're booked through the end of April. Oh, aren't they all fancy? Yes. But yeah, we're going to try to get the Bass and Beer guys on in Mayish, June-ish time frame, talk about some stuff. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Any questions, guys? That should be Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. And yeah, good luck to everyone that signs up for the tournament. And I will see you guys on Monday Night Live. See ya. Oh, have a wonderful Easter with your family. Enjoy it. I'm going to make this announcement over on the Patreon page, but we are going to do a photo contest giveaway. Okay, we're going to do a photo contest giveaway. And it's going to go from Friday until Tuesday morning. Post all of your fishing pics on the Patreon Facebook page, and we're going to do a raffle. We're going to do a guided fishing trip raffle for the Susquehanna River. I'm going to say no more. And so we're going to have a grand prize winner that'll win that. And then we're going to have a couple of gift card giveaways, Jake's Bait and Tackle, Tiger Crankbait. So if you're a Patreon member, what I want you to do is any fish you catch this weekend, make sure you post it over up on Patreon's Facebook group, and I'll select the winners and I'll post them out all over the place. Thank you guys, and I will see you next week. You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your host, Thomas Ahrens. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by Jake's Bait and Tackle, located